What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and today we're continuing with my 100% factual, not clickbait, take it to the house, bet all of your savings, college fund, take out a loan, football predictions for the NFL championship round. The AFC championship between the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars, the NFC championship between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to give you two predictions that are going to be so correct. You guys aren't going to believe how correct it is. You're going to have to close your browser, friggin' delete your cookies, rewatch the video. That is how illegal these picks are going to be. So we're going to start quickly with the early game. We have the New England Patriots, who, if you ever watched on Twitter, pretty much anytime the Patriots win the playoffs, people say that, oh, they won because of the refs. And yeah, I watched this mostly the second half against the Tennessee Titans, because let's be honest, everyone knew the Patriots were going to win that game. So I figured if I had stuff to do, I was going to get it done during that one. You know, a really long piss break, if you will. But ultimately, yeah, you could say the Patriots got some favorable calls. But ultimately, how are you going to come out and say that the league's trying to make the Patriots win? Like, I get it's a ratings-based league, but if it really was that, like, the whole deflated football stuff like that, I really don't think that if there was some Illuminati conspiracy that the New England Patriots are the league's, you know, golden boys, something like that. I mean, you know, if you really want to put your tinfoil hat on, they are going to generate the most views. So if that's really where they're going with it. But I mean, it's the Super Bowl. Really, almost any Super Bowl is going to draw. So I don't think you necessarily have to have the Patriots in there. Now the Patriots, look, man, when I watch the New England Patriots, you see Tom Brady playing at a very, very high level. He probably will win the MVP, even though I don't agree with it. I think that, personally, I give it to Todd Gurley and Carson Wentz before I gave it to Tom Brady. Just more so because of how Tom Brady played down the stretch. When all was really, really close, Tom Brady did not close out the season particularly well. Or if it wasn't bad, he definitely wasn't MVP-like last 4 weeks or so of the season. But Tom Brady looked outstanding against the Tennessee Titans. But the biggest thing for me, looking at the Patriots, is Rob Gronkowski. When Rob Gronkowski is healthy, I don't think there's a single player in the NFL that can cover him. I don't even think there's two players in the NFL that can cover him consistently. He is unstoppable. He is, like, the only way that when I watch the Patriots play that, like, you could stop Gronk is, like, you have to pass interference him, which is, you know, he's going to get the yards anyway, or you're going to have to injure him. And, you know, you don't ever want to say, oh, yeah, you got to hurt him or something like that, or hope for an injury, but he's that unstoppable. He is the most dominant player in the NFL at his position. There is not one, not Aaron Donald, not Khalil Mack, not Von Miller, not even me being biased and saying Carson Wentz, or when you look at Jalen Ramsey. No one is more dominant at their position when they're 100% healthy than Rob Gronkowski is at the tight end spot. And that is, for me, the way that the Patriots win this game is by feeding Gronk. And the way that the Jags win this game is somehow, some way, finding a way to stop Gronk. And I posed a question on Twitter. I was like, well, if you're the Jags, how do you stop Gronk? And a lot of people hit me with, well, Miles Jack's a really good cover linebacker. I mean, Telvin Smith, first-team All-Pro. He's a cover linebacker. One of those guys, one of those undersized linebackers that are incredibly talented is just going to get bullied by Gronkowski. I said, well, here's what I would do if I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this could be way out in left field. I feel like when you look at the Patriots wide receivers, all right, Boyer is good enough to line up with Brandon Cooks. Take away their legit wide receiver one. Then I would have Aaron Colvin, who's a very capable corner. I would have him go up on the other guy, which would be probably Chris Hogan. And I would have Jalen Ramsey on clear passing situations drop in with one of those linebackers and double team Gronkowski, because Gronkowski is the guy that can take the game over. Boyer and the safeties are good enough to drop back on deep throws and cover Brandon Cooks, who's a game changer. Ultimately, for the Jags, it's stopping Gronk, and I think you have to get Jalen Ramsey, he's a defensive back. Even though he plays corner, he's an insane corner. He also could very well be a safety in the NFL. Have him come up and double team. I assume it'd probably be, well, I mean, they move Gronk all over the place, but even with Miles Jack or with Telvin Smith, have Jalen Ramsey be the double team to stop Gronk. Because if you take Gronk away from that offense, that is going to be huge for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Because this game can't be a shootout. I don't think you can get a shootout like they did against the Pittsburgh Steelers and have a chance in hell of winning this game. You stop Gronk, I think the Jags have a really good chance of being able to somehow, someway scrape this one out. When you look at the Jags offense and what they could potentially do, I mean, Leonard Fournette is running hard. Their offensive line is probably, you know, remember when the Cowboys last year, really the summary of their defense was that they're all playing and punching above their weight. They all were kind of no names, but they're playing at a very high level. Same could be said right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line. Cam Robinson's playing well. Linder's playing well. I can't even name the other guys on the offensive line, to be honest with you. But I watched the game. I watched both their games, actually. I watched that terrible game against the Bills. I watched the game against the Steelers, and they were manhandling the Steelers. And I think that when you're kind of trying to compare the Steelers' defense, even without Ryan Shazier, to the Patriots, it's not too far off. You might give the edge here to the Patriots, but ultimately kind of similar in terms of talent. I mean, you got All-Pro on the Steelers with Cam Hayward. He didn't really do much. So I think that they can run the ball well, which they can. The Patriots aren't really anything special against the run. They're not bad against the run. They're not anything special. I think if they pound the rock with Leonard Fournette, sets up play action, and you know, never know. Maybe it's going to be the Patriots of the old. The Patriots at the beginning of the season that their secondary was absolutely horrendous, and even Blake Bortles on his worst day would probably still get 3 touchdowns shows up. I think if they can get forced 3 and outs, they can get to Tom Brady, apply some pressure. I mean, that's another way. Hey, that's another way you can stop Gronkowski, is just put pressure on Tom Brady. Tom Brady does not like getting interior pressure up the middle, and that's exactly what that incredible Jaguars defensive line can do. That's another way to stop Gronk. But ultimately, I think they're going to have to give the edge, and all, with the experience, to the Patriots, and they're going to be my pick officially, though I'm pulling for the Jags. I mean, it's the Jags. Come on, they've been the laughingstock of the NFL. If you know, it's been the Browns, Jags, and Raiders since like over the last decade that have been kind of the laughing team, the laughing stock of the AFC at least. And hey, I'm pulling for it, man. Anyone but the Patriots. So I hope the Jags do well. I hope that their secondary lights up Tom Brady, be an interception. I hope their front 7 can just pummel Tom Brady and stop Gronkowski. But it's going to be tough, and I'm going to go with the home team in New England. Now, looking at the NFC, I'm not going to go on as long because ultimately we're going to have my 10 things video, so I don't want to repeat a lot of things. So we're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Ultimately, I'm backing with my Eagles, baby. I know it's a homer pick. I know it's a biased pick. But, you know, they're the underdogs again, man. They're showing no respect to the Philadelphia Eagles. And ultimately, I'm going with this. I think both these teams have equal momentum coming in this game off their wins. Obviously, the Vikings win was a little bit more dramatic. But for how bad Nick Foles was, to have that game against the hottest defense in the NFC, in the Atlanta Falcons, there is a bunch of momentum that the Philadelphia Eagles offense gained. We're at home field in Lincoln Financial Field. If you thought the fans were crazy against the Falcons, they're going to be even more crazy this week against the Vikings to spoil the Vikings' opportunity to have the Super Bowl game and host it at home. Plus, the Vikings are they're a dome team. They're sure they live in the cold weather, but they practice in the warm for the most part. They play in the warm. They're comfortable in the warm. Their kicker is used to kicking inside of a dome, and their kicker's been pretty damn good over the last couple weeks in Kai Forbath. They are coming to frigid conditions in Philadelphia. And I don't care how many times they say they practice outside or something like that to prepare. It's not going to be enough, man. I think the Philadelphia Eagles defense is going to absolutely smother Case Keenum. I think that is the big thing. I think ultimately, in terms of playmakers and the big splashy guys, you might want to give the edge to the Minnesota Vikings. Thielen, Diggs, well, I mean, maybe not so Everson Griffin because the defensive line, I think you give the edge to the Eagles. But Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, Xavier Rhodes, Harrison Smith, the big superstars are spread out more evenly on the Minnesota Vikings. But I think the big tail of the tape is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line going up against the Minnesota Vikings offensive line. I don't see really any way the Minnesota Vikings are going to be able to run the ball. And if you can't run the ball and you're forcing Case Keenum to throw the ball, it is going to be a long day for the Minnesota Vikings. So it's going to be a close game. I'm not confident enough in the Eagles. I'll say like right now. I'm confident enough in my heart. I believe that this team can get the damn job done, pull out a miracle, get a damn movie made out of them. But I wouldn't bet. It's just too close because I could definitely see this, you know, Philadelphia used up all their luck. They used up all their momentum to get that big upset win over the Falcons. And now they're going to get a big-time rude awakening from the Minnesota Vikings defense. Like, I'm not optimistic that Nick Foles is going to particularly move the ball well. But, again, man, that's what I'm banking on. Our defense, once again, leading us to victory. If you could stop Julio Jones from getting in the end zone, you could stop Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen to get in the end zone. That's the way I'm kind of viewing it. So I will officially, obviously, I'm backing my Eagles. So the Eagles and the Patriots are going to meet in a rematch from the 2004 Super Bowl. Oh, what a game it will be. One thing I'm going to end here is, does anyone know that if the Minnesota Vikings win the Super Bowl, does the Philadelphia Eagles 4th-round pick change to a 2nd-round pick? No one has been able to give me an answer. I've had people say yes, had people say no. If anyone is really up to date with the intangibles of that trade, let me know. the small print, not the intangibles, the small print of that trade. Let me know. But that does it for me here today for my predictions. Let me know your guys' predictions in the comment section below. And that will do it for me here today, guys. Till next time, it's C4 saying, oh, look at this. It's going to be 10 minutes so I get double ads. Peace out.